Whether you realize it or not, we are in a fight. Every day, sometimes it's just a fight just to keep your sanity. You have to keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. Please understand this. Please remember this. Victory, 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 without exception, is always on the other side of a battle. It's always on the other side of a fight. Victory is always on the other side of a fight. Here's how the word of the Lord puts it in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. Because there's always a temptation to give up when you have setbacks, when you get tired. Be not weary. He says, don't be weary in doing good. Yes, you can get tired because you feel like nobody's acknowledging it. And sometimes it's, you do things for people and then they don't even acknowledge it. You get weary and it's like, well, why am I doing this? We're doing it because it's right. The Apostle Paul, writing to the church at Galatia, said to them in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 7, he says, you were running well. Who hindered you from obeying the truth? But see, if the devil can get you discouraged and keep you discouraged, he can get you derailed so that you quit. That's the issue. Theodore Roosevelt said this. He says, courage is not having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have the strength. When you got to keep going even when you feel like you don't have the strength to go on. I mean, how many times have you just said to a person, you know, I'm finished. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. How easy it is to get discouraged because things don't happen fast enough for us and we become discouraged. Listen, don't be weary in well-doing, because you're going to reap in due season if you don't get weary, because there is a reward. And so I just tell you, stay faithful. Stay faithful.
I always like to say that some people are like scaffolding. You put scaffolding around the building to help build a wall, and when the wall is built, you remove the scaffolding. Sometimes God brings people in your life to help build something, and then when that is built, He removes those people, and you're crying, you're like, why are you God removing those people? It's because the purpose and the reason for which they came has been accomplished, and God is taking them now, and now you can enjoy that building. Now you can see the vision clearly, and you can move forward.
And that's your choice.
And so when you're going through hard things, you got two choices. You can give in and give up, or you can get strong. Amen? And I believe that we can do anything that God gives us to do, but the one thing we cannot do is give up when it gets hard.
If you don't understand this principle, prayer can turn into a complaining session where we just air out all our worries, tell God everything that's wrong, and how bad life is, and God, I can't take this anymore. It's a whole different perspective to say, God, I have all these things coming against me, but I want to thank you that you are fighting my battles. Thank you that you hold victory in store for the upright. Thank you that what's meant for my harm, you're turning to my advantage.
Well, we may not be able to see Him, but He's our ever-present help. God is with us. And just by remembering and dwelling on that fact that He's with us, it'll help to calm our fears. Boy, we need that reminder sometimes. When you feel all alone in the midst of your worry and fear and anxiety, God is with you. God is with you.
You've got to seek Him. Matthew chapter 6 verse 33, but seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Proverbs 8:17, I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Isaiah 55 verse 6 says, seek the Lord while He may be found, call upon Him while He is near. Hebrews 11:6 says, He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. What does this mean? This means that we've got to make every opportunity possible to seek the Lord.
Some of you believe this. You believe you're not talented and you're not gifted. And you know why I know that? Because that's what I used to think. I never thought I was going to be anything. I never thought I was gifted. Just because you don't see your giftedness yet doesn't mean it's not there.
Every day, the priority of our life ought to be time we spend alone with Him, being quiet. And a good time to do that's when you start the day out. You cannot go in to work, wherever you work, forgetting God.
If you're going through a storm, the first lesson you got to learn is God is always with you if you're a believer. There will be nothing I will face or you the rest of our life alone. Jesus is in my boat. He's in there. He's in my life and in my boat. And if you're a believer, He's in your boat too. God promises every believer, "Lo, I am with you always. I will never leave you or forsake you." Isaiah 43, verse 1 and 2. "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I'll be with you. When you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you." What a promise. If your boat's rocking, don't worry. If you're a believer, Jesus is in your boat. So remember God's closeness. He's still with you.
It's God who is the master of the winds and the waves, and He's the one who causes storms to come. It is a shallow theology, a very shallow theology that says if we're in the will of God, that we're just going to sail always smoothly on the sea of life.
I'm not going to quit. I'm not. I may get knocked down 9 times, but I'm going to get up 10 times. And I'm not going to quit. The devil will hit you. Life will hit you. I may get knocked down, but bless God, I'm getting up. I'm not going to quit.
Do we pause to give Him thanks for all of those things? Or do our worries and concerns, the waves and the storm overshadow the items that we can be grateful for? Every single day, so here's some application if you're interested. Every day of my life, I wake up and I write down 5 things I'm thankful for. 5 things I'm thankful for. It has been one of the greatest gifts to me. Just to start my day in the direction of gratitude and reflecting on God's goodness, it has been a tremendous gift. And any one of you can do it. Like you take it's not proprietary. Take that and steal it. I just got a journal. I have a journal. I open it up. I write 5 things down, and I can look back and see things I don't even remember writing down. It's like, oh yeah, God is faithful. God is faithful. He is trustworthy.
Gratitude. Gratitude will change your view of your world. Are you practicing gratitude? Are you practicing gratitude? Be grateful in all circumstances. Let me tell you the most powerful time where you can be grateful. When nothing in your circumstances tell you that you should be grateful. Because that's the time you get to be grateful for what's eternal.
In our house, we had a basement, and I was scared to death of that basement. All right. In that basement was everything that was bad in the world. I mean, there was all kinds of things going on in my mind about what was going on in that basement down there. But one day, my dad realized, he knew that I was just overwhelmed with fear and worry about what was going on down in that basement. And so one day he came to me and said, "Let's go down in the basement together." And so we walked down the stairs, and instead of hitting the light switch, he just kept it off, and he said, "Hey, let's walk over here for a moment." And we walked across the basement. It was just cold and it was dark, and he held my hand. And we just sat there on a couch for what seemed to be an eternity to me. And he held my hand real tight. He didn't lecture me, didn't shame me, didn't make fun of me, didn't tease me. But we just sat there and we talked about my life as a little boy. Probably talked about baseball and sports. And as long as I sat there with him, I didn't need to worry. I didn't need to be afraid of what I thought was going on in that basement. And I found out nothing was going on down there because my dad was with me. His presence brought me peace. Listen, the same is true with us and God. The God who not only brings peace to us, but Paul says is the God of peace. He holds our hand when we're worried, and he says, come on, let's walk into this together. Okay? May not take the problem away. It's still dark, but you know he's with you, and he can handle it. And you're good. You have peace as long as you're partnered up to the God of peace. You can walk into your fears. You can walk into your doubts. You can walk into the things that overwhelm you that are going on with your kids right now that just wear you out. You just hold on to Dad's hand and you just walk into those things and you remind yourself of how big he is and how he's got it all under control.
Come on, you might be one step away from a breakthrough. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to sit down and complain. This is not the time to blame everybody else. This is not the time to be offended at God. This is the time for you to look to the Lord for hope in a world full of despair.
It's time to get up off the mat. If you've been knocked down, if you've been through something, if you've been through financial setback or some kind of terrible thing has hit you in your health or something's happened to your family, we need to believe that it's time for a comeback. It's no time to quit. It's no time to give up. It's no time to moan and groan. We may be down, but we're not out because we serve a comeback God.
What do you think separates average people from amazing people? What do you think separates those who are really fulfilled in life from those who are often empty? The difference is their perseverance. It's their perseverance. It's their willingness to stick to it. It's their grit to finish. It is their drive to persevere. It is their refusal to quit.
Trust has a lot to do with timing, and the timing is God's part. It's because God's ways are not our ways. God's timing for righting wrongs, answering prayers, judging the wicked, fulfilling prophecy very rarely coincides with our timing. Have you ever noticed that? Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. There's a time and a purpose for everything under heaven, my friend. Are you willing to trust the timing to him?
So learn this. There is no future in your past. Learn to live in today. I can't live in tomorrow. I can't live in the past, but I can live right now. And I can live bold and I can live big, and so can you. See, the blessing of God and the freshness of God is waiting for you when you make up your mind to leave the past in the past. All of us have some bad memories. All of us have had bad experiences. All of us have had some good ones, and even those are in the past. So you've got to learn to celebrate what's going on now. It's not coming back. So whether good or bad, don't dwell on it.
These disciples were not out of the will of God. Why were they in a storm? They were in a storm. Don't miss this. They were in a storm because they were in the will of God. It was Jesus that constrained them to get into that boat. They were in this storm because they were obeying Jesus. Why would Jesus want them to be in a storm? Because he wanted them to grow. I want to ask you a question. Those of you who've been on the trail for a while, when did you grow the most? When everything was fine? When you were smoothly sailing? Or when the storm came?
Thanksgiving is not just a response of thanks when something goes your way or you're granted a favor. You see, true Thanksgiving is not an outside formality. It's an inside reality. It's your default. True Thanksgiving is a default, and it's not something done for you, it's something done inside of you.
This could be the start of your comeback. That no matter how bad it looks, we're never out of the race. That somehow an even hopeless situation can turn around. This could be the start of your comeback. Because God is the true author of the comeback story. He's the God who can flip the script. He's the God who can change things up. He's the God who can take you from feeling defeated and bring you to victory. Because time and again, what we've seen in the Bible is that God does not give up on us. We may give up on ourselves. We may feel like quitting, but God doesn't quit on us. And you know what? When we come back to Him, we find that God's right there waiting for us. And in reality, much closer than we thought. But you got to remember, with God, there's always hope. He wants to write a new ending to your story. Even if you feel hopeless, even if you feel like you're in a place where you can't see God, He's coming after you because He wants to write a new ending to your story that's not about defeat, that's not about failure, but it's about victory. And it's a victory that comes when you simply come back to Him. When you return to Him and listen and realize that He's there waiting for you, He wants you, then all of a sudden, you realize that there's hope. Because I'm telling you the truth, you are never too defeated, you're never too broken, you're never too lost, and you're never too far away to come back to Christ. And you're never too in that position where you're too deep to not be brought to a victorious ending. I don't know where you sit right now. I don't know what failure or what devastation. I don't know what has happened in your life that has created a sense of hopelessness, that's created a sense of fear. But what I do know is that we serve a God who can take your moment of deepest hopelessness, of deepest failure, of deepest disaster, and He can turn it into your greatest victory. He is the God of the comeback.